Episode 144.
144.
What up, Jobins? How we doing?
Damn. How we doing, Jobins? I myself am just happy and grateful to be alive. 2 back-to-back nights. Not easy.
It's very surprising, Jobins. Brendan's gone back-to-back nights out to clubbing with some boys.
Yes, sir.
For Christian's birthday, you brought Christian and one of his buddies?
Mm-hmm. Shout out Christian. Shout out his buddy Marcos.
So we got to dive right in. The first night you're in line to go to the club, and this is in Scottsdale, Jobins, where you got to dress nice, look good, waiting in line to get in. And you showed up in gym shorts.
This is correct. But to give myself, because you guys are probably like, that's stupid. You showed up in gym shorts to the club. The club was an unexpected surprise after we went to a stand-up show where we went and saw, oh my God, I kept saying his name wrong to my girlfriend. I kept calling him Montgomery Williams. But it's I kept saying, babe, I'm gonna go check out Montgomery Williams. She was like, who's that? And then William Montgomery.
William Montgomery. It is such a sculpted in marble rock name, isn't it? Like his face would be.
Yeah.
He was. I didn't really get to talk to him. They did a podcast with Tim and Sean.
Oh, lit.
Yeah. Before I think that was Friday. So before that show.
Damn.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him because me and Tim were doing our pod, then they were doing their pod, so it was real quick, and I was also making coffees and shit. Mm-hmm. But he's pretty tall. He's a pretty tall guy. You could tell that he's a comedian.
Dude, is he tall?
He seemed...
Because when I saw him live with the boys...
Big bearded guy?
He seemed average size, but I think the stage may make people look smaller.
I literally stood next to him.
Damn, yeah. Maybe they were all tall. They must have had all tall stand-ups.
Well, JX is one buddy who's a comedian. He's pretty funny, too. He's kind of like JX. But, yeah, you could just tell William Montgomery is a comedian because he brings a lot of energy, a lot of good, fun energy when he's around. He just seemed bubbly.
Oh my God, bro. He had the funniest Frankie Muniz story ever that you would have died laughing at. Because you know how you had met Frankie Muniz at GCU?
Uh-huh.
That's exactly where he said he had met Frankie Muniz.
Really?
And he goes on the story. He broke it up in 5 different times, and the music would get real serious.
Uh-huh.
And he'd be like, and then Frankie Muniz would take out a lead pipe, and then he would beat. And it goes
Little Frankie?
Yeah. It's
chasing girls?
It's
Hold
funny,
on.
dude.
Let's dive in back, though.
Okay.
So you're in line.
At the club. At Bottle Blonde.
At Bottle Blonde.
In Scottsdale.
In gym shorts.
Yes, sir.
So when the bouncer checks you, did you get a little lippy?
This is all I said. All I said, because I was like, well, my boy has shorts on too. And he said, are those swimming shorts? Are those swimming trunks? Are those swimming trunks? And I was like, no, they're not. I was like, I'm wrong. They're not. And he's like, what kind of? He's just like, are they swimming? He didn't even hear me. I was like, dude, I was wrong. My bad. And he's like, are they swimming trunks? Do you see anyone else wearing swimming trunks?
He just kept going.
He kept going like that, bro.
And even though you're saying sorry.
And I'm not even mad either. I'm just like, he does not like me. I think I'm every bouncer's worst nightmare because of how I look and everything, being young, maybe.
They're like, oh my God, this guy's got this. First, I'm dealing with this fucking illegal fucking ID. And now this guy's coming in here with shorts.
He was a big guy. He was probably like your size.
He was probably, dude, who knows what kind of a day that guy had.
Oh, dude, he was pissed off, though. He did not like me.
He might have just been having a bad day, and you were the one that broke the ice.
Bro, if it was Walking Dead times, he would have Negan'd me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I made that mistake, but I didn't have swimming trunks on.
It was gym shorts, so he was technically wrong. But I didn't want to correct him. I didn't want to say, technically, sir, it's gym shorts.
That would have been great. Yeah, I could just see you, though. The way Brock was telling me about it, I was picturing you just fucking pissed off that he didn't get you, and then you said that, and I thought maybe, yeah. That's funny, though.
I let it go on. I did a really good job. Usually that stuff would get me a lot more because I've had a lot of incidents with bouncers, Jobins. But this one wasn't that bad. I got over it pretty well.
Yeah.
And the same guy the next night kicked out Colt.
Which is weird because Colt is just such a nice guy. And then he's like nerdy as fuck, which I am too, and I love it. So like it's like I wish I would have saw him let loose and be crazy to get kicked out.
He was just at the counter. Like, I think he was because he was very inactive. He was kind of chilling out. We were all kind of tired. But it was the same guy that gave me the shit the other day. And he was like, you got to go. You got to go. And he starts kicking him out. Cole's like, what did I do? And then Marco, shout out Marcos again, because he got the Airbnb and he got the VIP table the first night. But the second night, he goes to that bouncer and he was like, dude, he's like, what is you kicking him out for? And he's like, you guys are the same guys from last night. You're lucky you even got in.
Damn. So you are, whoa.
And then Marcos was like, he was like, what's your name? And he's like, I don't have to give you my fucking name. And then that was kind of the end of it.
Damn.
But Bottle Blonde, if anyone that works there is listening, man, that bouncer, he's a mean dude.
Can you imagine what a bouncer has to go through, though?
Oh, a shitload of stuff. Dude, our boy at the pool.
Assholes.
Yeah.
Threats, violence, fights. And then when you don't imagine, you know how guys are, right? But imagine a group of annoying bitches who are drunk that aren't getting in. And imagine them complaining.
Yeah.
Only God knows what a bouncer goes through at night, you know?
There was this one drunk girl, too, on the street, and she was blocking them from getting a table to another club, I think. And they were like, can you, like, move? And she was there for, like, fighting. The guy's like, man, you're grown. Come on.
This guy just probably split up a couple fights, had a couple bitches say some shit to him. Then you got this little asshole showing up in swim shorts. Who's getting lippy.
Little man's getting lippy.
This little guy coming in the swim shorts is the last fucking straw.
You got a point. You got a point. You got a point.
He's
I don't
like,
know.
you see anyone else with gym shorts?
Yeah,
he's still thinking about that fucking, probably out of everything. No. So yeah, you're on the most wanted list for a club. I am super, super blessed. And I don't have to experience whenever I do go out, because I hardly ever go out with boys, with the other boys. When I do go out, it's with Sugar Shane. And we go and VIP treatment. So it's two different worlds. And then when I see what other people, like one time it hit me, I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm so lucky because I don't have to worry about out. Like we look nice, right? But there is still like limits that you got to match to even get into a club,
and for the prices too. The promoter people that bring you to the table. Like there was this one guy, and then I don't know how Marcos was like negotiating. It was like $600 at first, right, to get in, and then they bumped it up to $6,000. So we dipped.
Shout out Jay down at Bottle Blonde. I wish I should have hit him up for you guys. He's a fucking legend. JOBINS. He takes care of Sean a lot, hooks us up with a lot of shit. But sometimes I think about Night at the Roxbury, like when they're waiting in line. Because, bro, I didn't think about that either. You got to match vibes. If you're not matching vibes, they probably do want you out the club. They want a certain energy in there.
Oh, 100%.
There's been times at clubs where, like, there was one time in Vegas, there was this really cool part, like, that circled around and then, like, the edge where you could sit on. And I was right in front of Ludacris in the crowd. And I was just fucking drunk, but sitting there vibing, just doing my thing. I wasn't really going crazy or anything, but I bet it's because I got the Sean O'Malley protection shield that like I don't ever even have to think about stuff like that. Yeah, I'm super lucky.
The dancing's crazy. Music does hit different in the club. Like,
oh my God,
hearing Justin Bieber's "Baby," I never thought that song would go so hard. Always be mine, and you got all the lights and shit going off.
You know, I got a question. Is club life kind of dying?
Dying?
Dying in a way with like, so I've kind of noticed being in the clubs, unless it's like a #1 hit, like the Kendrick song, like ones like that, most of the time in clubs, it's older songs.
I see what you mean.
And if it's not older songs, I feel like it's like the like all that kind of shit. So I'm not, maybe not the question of club life dying. I just wonder,
like club music,
yeah,
like hits made for the
music.
club.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mr. 305, like Pitbull still hit hard too in the club. I mean, yeah, right? You got a point.
But Pitbull. But then I've heard girls complain that all music's just sad boy music. We don't want to hear sad boy music in the clubs. And it's like, fuck, is that the wave?
Dude, honestly, they play a mix, though. They play a solid mix of music from, like, present to back then, and then they blend it with the club beats.
It's crazy.
It works.
It's crazy. Some of the people that have like hate. I don't know if it's because what Sean and Tim project of Suicide Boys, but like some comments, people were like, "Fucking can't believe you listen to Suicide Boys" and shit like that. And it's like, dude, if we were in Vegas in that nightclub at Zook, and all of a sudden they fucking did a Suicide Boys song, oh my goodness, I think it'd be absolutely fire. I get like little Peep and shit like that. Some girl was shitting on XXX. I was like, what? Hold up.
I'd like to see more range from Suicide Boys as far as like a song that's like acoustic and like it's more singing.
Right?
Just because I think they could hit it because they're so good. They do it all.
I did it, Jobins. I'm gonna admit when I'm wrong. I like the new Eminem song. It grew on me. It grew on me. Look at this. Look at this. It was late when we first listened to it, and then I downloaded it because I'm like, it's Eminem. Give it another try. It's the fucking legend.
Plus, I think you were probably doing something while you were watching it the first time, you know?
Right? And that happens sometimes. And at first, I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics, really. It was just that damn chorus. But now it's catchy. I'm like, man, this is like a summer song almost. So, yeah, I flipped the switch. I like the song.
Apparently, his album release date got dropped or something or like leaked.
Really?
I don't know what the date is. I should have looked into the article more, but I was like, okay, cool. Because I didn't even know there was going to be like a full album. So that's just cool.
Yeah, after listening to the chorus a couple times when he's like, just like that, and I'm back, bro. And then you can hear him like load a gun. I'm like, oh, fuck. So it kind of just makes me think, which I'm like, damn, that's what the shit I like. So, yeah. Dude. Sometimes that happens, Joe, but you got to try things twice.
This is true.
So, yeah, you had a wild weekend. Sean surprised me last minute to go with him. Me and Sono got invited to go with him and Tim to see Russ live.
Oh.
Dude, that was sick. It was, again, we're walking in the back while the show's going on, which was pretty cool.
Where was it at again?
Oh, it was at the Footprint Center.
Okay.
And, dude, we walk out, right? And we walk in through, like, the part where the stage is right there with all the computer guys doing work. And, again, I was telling the boys, I'm like, these guys right here have such a hard job that you don't notice it unless they fuck up. If they were to fuck up, you'd go, what the fuck? Because it's, like, the lights and everything, you know? So it's like they got to be on point. They got to make sure they're doing it.
And it's loud.
And it's loud. They got their headphones on. One guy had it off like this. I was like, this is sick. It was cool. But walking out and you just kind of see like what Russ sees with all the people and shit. And then we went in the back eventually because apparently it was the best seat where his family was. And it was like this little built stage. I thought that was super sick. I got to watch Russ next to his mom, and I don't know the rest of the family members. Sean went up and talked to her for a little bit. That was really cool to see because Sean's such a big fan of Russ.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm weird, Joe, because I'm like, wow, this is the girl that birthed that guy. You know what I mean? And then I'm putting myself in her shoes. I'm looking, and I'm going, imagine watching your son play like that. And everyone's singing along, loving his music.
How many people are in there too? Like
it was sold out.
Yeah,
it was sold. The Footprint Center was sold out. And then I'm thinking about poor Sean's mom, and I even said it to Sean because it's like, here's Russ's mom, and she cried a couple times because he said some mom shit. You know what I mean? And that I was like, oh, but here she is getting to enjoy her son perform and do what he loves, right? And you see all these people love it, but it is night and day difference with Sean O'Malley's mom. Same thing, right? She gets to go and watch and enjoy what her son's doing, but it's violent. He could get hurt.
Oh,
there's
dude.
So much fucking stress and anxiety. Now, I'm sure there's stress and anxiety in the music industry with money or other things, things that fall apart that you can't control, that we don't really know. But to have to sit there and go, fuck, is my son going to be okay? Compared to her sitting there, like, it took me back a little.
That's a different level of toughness.
Right?
You know, like, I'm not saying because I guarantee all those musical artists that are successful have to have a certain level of mental toughness for sure to do what they do and perform like that. But to be physically tough like that and have to endure the violence.
Where he can get hurt, seriously hurt. It's like, oh my God. Even for us, the fans, us fans.
That's why the fighters, dude, I just have nothing but respect for them, man. It's just warriors through and through.
Right. Sometimes I think about that too. I'm like, I go on a podcast and we talk some shit on some fighters and we pick against them when it's like, fuck. When you really sit and think about all the hard work that goes into fighting.
Right.
I should be sitting here going, oh, I just hope both fighters win. Because it's such a fucking unforgiving sport.
That's like, hey, it comes with the territory.
Yeah, dude. It's the most unforgiving. And how cool, I'm going to say it again. I was taken aback with UFC I just feel like it's the number one sport. And when
I don't know, dude. I don't think so. I think
soccer.
No, I was gonna say WNBA with Caitlin Clark.
I think
it's crazy though.
Does it kind of feel like more eyes are on it?
Oh, dude, and you should see all the heat she's taken. She gets like bodied all the time.
She should just start fucking right hooking people. Take some fucking red flags or whatever it is.
But good for I hope that works out for the sport.
Yeah. Hey, I've been hearing a lot of talks about her.
Yeah.
She's doing something right.
More of a joke because the UFC probably is the biggest sport in the world. It feels that way.
Yeah, it just feels that way. And when I was hearing Dana White talk about it on the pod and talk about the numbers and even the power slap, the numbers they get with reels, I'm like, damn, that's just because of technology.
Dude, even that would be a fun event to go. I want to go to a power slap event.
For the first time, they're doing tickets to it where you can go, where the people can go. And the one guys that I got to hang out with in Vegas, he's the co-main for the champion.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, I want to watch it. You know?
That's what Marcos was talking about at the club, dude. He was like, dude, he said they were like really crazy.
It would be fun to go just see one. Mm-hmm. We've done UFC. I remember, I will never forget the first time I went to a UFC event. JOBINS. It's more expensive these days. Way more than what we had to pay.
Dude, that wasn't even with me. That was even before, right? With James.
Yeah. Oh, dude, St. Louis was so fucking cheap. It was like, it's literally up there. It's like $78 for a sick.
Or you had one before that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, dude. Kansas City.
Yeah.
It was just cheap. But if UFC comes to your city, even if it's nosebleed, JOBINS, just get inside there. Because there is nothing to me like a UFC event. I remember the first time when we went and how quiet it was. I was like, holy shit, this is eerie. Because I'm so used to hearing it on TV.
Yeah.
With the crowd seeming loud. And it gets loud. It gets deafening loud.
And the commentators, too, because they're so far away. It's not like the TV.
But when the round starts and everyone starts watching, you can hear a fucking pin drop. And I remember being taken back by that. Mm-hmm. That was pretty unique. And then hearing the cracks. And then, of course, like in any sport, I remember being at St. Louis Cardinals playoff when they won to go to the World Series. That was insane. That was like, holy fuck. And this isn't even the World Series, you know? So, but I felt that you feel that inside there. So, yeah, definitely go to a UFC event.
Most definitely.
Oh, dude. Did you watch anything with that Dana White pod with him and Andrew Schultz?
No. I did not see that one.
I enjoyed it. There is a lot of stuff that he's talked about a lot before, but I don't know. Just the way that Schultz was going with him and flowing with him, I really liked it. And there's a part where he talks about moments in his life, and it was like, holy shit. To hear it from Dana White and to hear how it's like, what is that? Because he talks about, I don't want to go too much into it because you can go watch it.
Right.
But he just talks about how he never went to weddings. He hates going to weddings because of how busy he is. And I'm like, damn, I relate to that. Because he's pretty popular, right? So all his friends are always getting married, constantly. Finally goes to one wedding where he meets the guy who invites him to the UFC event. And he's like, if he had never gone, it's a long story, and you can go watch it. It's really good if you've never heard the story before. And just how that moment, he met these people, boom, and everything kind of fell into Dana White's lap. Dude.
Through a wedding.
Through a fucking wedding.
So he goes to every wedding now, right?
Probably not.
I'd be like, dude, after that kind of story, you're kind of obligated.
Right? Now, who's to say he wouldn't have met the same person somewhere else? You never know.
It's a cool story, though.
But yeah, to think if he had never gone to a wedding, we'd never end up. Everything can be completely different. The fucking butterfly effect. Mm-hmm. Is it destiny? Divine intervention? Is it coincidence? Is it simply just being organic? Man. Everything's organic?
Well, because I like to think the idea that we all have free will. So, I don't know, man. But I feel like there's divine moments for sure.
And it's the same thing with me, guys. Had I never just simply asked Sean for an autograph, which is really, it's so weird to think about, right? Because I was his fan before his friend. I was telling two JOBINS came in from Ohio, and they were just, I get taken back still, right? When people are like, oh, I can't believe can we smoke with you, Schmitty? We want to smoke with you. It'd be so sick. I'm like, fuck yeah, we can smoke. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like, what the fuck? So then they're asking me about everything, and I'm telling them the story, and it's weird because it's like, I was a fan. I just wanted an autograph. Twitch was so brand new to me, and I was fascinated with it because I was a gamer, and all I did was hype them up. What is that?
Destiny, man.
Right? And then, like, now, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of things in place, but then it's like, well, I think that's just who you surround yourself with, right? Work hard at what you want to do and just grind at it and stay true to yourself, right? Don't change. Like, if this reality show were to happen, of course I want to level up and become better and be more funny, whatever. But I don't want to change who I am, not for a check or anything.
So are you just feeling like you'd have to, like, there's a potential to compromise your image or something being on the show, or like you'd have to change who you are to the fans? No, not change.
No, because that's where I feel we're super lucky here. You know how many people go, what's your pod? Like, what do you guys talk about on your pod? You just have one thing. We're so blessed. I feel like we're so blessed to be able to talk about whatever we want. There's so many different topics. We love movies. We love all forms of entertainment. We do I like to think I stay up a little tiny bit of political shit, but I just know people.
Dude, it's a freaking
You talk politicals, I know, but you talk anything about political shit and they come for your throat if you just get a little high and talk some shit, you know?
People get heated, man, but that's what that's what they're here for.
Right? But I feel super blessed that we're able to just kind of be ourselves on this podcast. We don't like, sometimes I think about people who have to act like something or put on a show and be that. Like, that would just be really tough.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the JOBINS, just the whole community, because, we're just who we are, dude. It just makes it a lot easier than having to put on some kind of weird front.
And no matter how my flaws, you know how I wear my heart on my sleeve? Mm-hmm. So no matter, like, my flaws, like that, I learn from them, you know? So my flaws are going to be open. I am who I am. You can't. You can work on it, but I don't know where I was going with that.
Damn, dude, did you know that Pat Sajak had his last episode of Wheel of Fortune?
Really?
He did. JOBINS, June 7th. So it was not. It was just a few days. I think a day ago.
Mm-hmm. How many years?
41 seasons.
Is he the last?
1981.
Is that the last one? Is there any more game show hosts from back in the day?
Oh, I know.
Or was that the last one?
He started when he was 36 years old, and he had his last episode at 77. That's a whole career for real.
Fuck yeah. Is that the guy with the girl?
Yeah, with her name was Dana White too.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is my dad loved that show. My dad loved all those, and my mom. They watched all that shit.
Yeah, Pat Sajak, man.
Yeah, what a career. They don't. It's like. Okay, so once they end, they always try to replace him.
They are going to replace him, I'm sure. Because he replaced someone else back in 1981. I thought he was the original host, JOBINS.
I thought he was,
because he'd been in it so long.
Same.
But no, there was another guy before him.
And we forgot him. Fucking sands of time.
Yeah, Pat, he'd be here for another 10 years, and then we'll forget his name.
I know. I was trying to tell Tim that last night because he was saying how, like, he doesn't want to be famous like Sean. And I think about it because, like, I hate the crazies, and, like, fame that level brings the fucking crazies.
Most definitely does.
And it does take away your sense of being able to enjoy moments at times, like going out to eat and all that shit, which we've heard about, which is kind of weird, right? Because anyone who's not famous, before they get famous, you hear that. Mm-hmm. You know that story. Dude,
that's just how famous Taylor Swift is, that Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce's telling Travis Kelce that he's not going to be having a good life because he's too famous now. And those guys are already professional football players.
It would be beautiful to be able to just be super wealthy and rich and not be famous.
Dude, 100%.
Those people that do that, that's lit. They can just go through, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, what I kind of think about it, I know, like, the few negatives, some can be kind of pretty crazy with the crazies, right? The sands of time thing, dude. Time is quick.
Legacy.
Legacy. Life is short, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, and like one moment, especially with UFC or even with music artists, like I was thinking about it with Russ. I'm like, Russ is the man. Why is Russ the man? Because he keeps grinding, keeps making hit after hit, and he's very talented. You got to keep showing up. When there's going to be a coming time when you stop, you retire, and everything moves on. And your name isn't, you'll be remembered, but you're not hot like you were. You know?
Dude, how many rappers are a flash in the pan too, you know?
I know.
That
So
have like one hit and then you don't hear from them again.
I guess I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I live right in the middle of a normal person. I'm a normal person, but I see the side of fame with my famous friends.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying.
Right?
Like a unique perspective in that.
Yeah, so like I only kind of get the good. They got to, I sometimes with these crazies at the gym that come in randomly, I got to deal with, right? But I don't get the negative part that they got to constantly deal with. I just come in for a moment. Come in for a moment when we hang out, boom, 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 and then I'm out. Right? And then I go somewhere, oh, hey, Schmitty. I'm like, what up, you know? So I kind of just get the good.
Dude, legacy, though. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, and being a fighter, too, like having your name remembered and etched in stone, like...
Oh, dude. I can't wait. There's a documentary out with Sean JOBINS, and it's on Roku. It came out either Thursday or Friday. It's Sunday right now. I haven't had time to watch it. I want to watch it tonight.
Word.
We should all watch it.
Word.
Yeah, and apparently Sean, I don't know if it's just random how many episodes there are, but Sean apparently is mainly about him on episode 2. So, and then I just saw Tim repost a little video of it on his story, and they do like slow motion zoom ins of Sean hitting Aljo in the face. Looks sick, like some shit I ain't seen yet. I was like, damn, that's fire. So
you have to watch that after the game 2 of Boston versus Dallas.
Oh boy, did Dallas get their ass whooped the first?
They got their asses whooped the first game.
That's all I heard about. I just heard,
so
oh my god.
The second game, we'll see what happens. Adjustments need to be made, or Luka's going home.
Damn. I want to talk to you about UFC. I want to ask a question, Brenden. Who do you think is better?
Oh shit.
Khabib or Islam?
Oh. Holy
Who do you
crap.
think is better, Jobins? Is this a pretty easy stamped question? Schmitty? Duh, Khabib. Or do you think it's Islam? Up and coming? Could he be better than Khabib? Or is Khabib stamped because he's got such high star power, never lost, 29-0, never lost, right? Beat the biggest UFC star that's ever happened.
Islam could do it.
Islam can do it?
Islam could do everything.
Even though he's been...
And guess what? He can make the weight every time. He hasn't had any issues like that leading up to the fight.
So we can agree, or do you agree, Jobins? Do you think that being undefeated is what makes you the best, or what?
No.
Is it who you beat, how you beat them?
Who you beat, how you beat them. And because Islam has that one loss on his record, right?
Yep.
But
got
dude,
knocked out.
he's beat everybody, man, too. Yeah, that's tough, dude. Because I would like to see, but they would never, because they're brothers.
No. You can't ever have them fight.
But it's a hard question, because it's like...
It'll be legacy.
You have to compare their careers.
Yeah, you got to compare. Because guess what? What if, Islam goes up, he could beat Leon. There was a couple people.
I don't think so.
See that? There's a couple people, and oh no, Leon's got him. I'm like...
Kamaru Usman couldn't keep him down, dude. I'm telling you right now. I'd like to see Usman versus Islam first, honestly.
We need a height check.
Do you know how mean Usman is? And what he did to Khamzat Chimaev? That was a good fight on short notice.
He was winning the fight up until that knockout.
Right.
And the second fight.
And then the second fight's like iffy. Kamaru Usman, dude, I've always thought it's been a minute for him.
I don't know why, Jobins. Again, tell us in the comments. Who do you think would win, Islam or Leon? I'm thinking it's Islam.
I'm going Leon.
If Leon fucking starches Islam's takedowns and ding him up, knock him out, that would be
Dustin was piecing him up.
Incredible.
Dustin was piecing up Islam.
What do you think Leon Edwards' stockpile would rise? You know what I mean? Beating Islam?
Mm-hmm. And it would have to be in a good fashion because like we were talking with the Usman, like he got the knockout after getting beat for 5 rounds, which was still lit. And then the second fight was questionable.
So right now, they're tied. Khabib's got 3 title defenses. Islam's at 3 title defenses. And Islam's, when he became the champ, It was against Charles Oliveira.
Dude, Charles was such a killer coming in too like that.
Khabib had to deal with all that bullshit of everyone getting thrown around. It was given to Alaquinta. Then he goes and beats Conor. Fucking, dude, those 2 back-to-back fights with Volk. Decision and then the fucking head kick.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just got the choke out fucking Dustin after 5 rounds, after a 5-round war.
Dude.
Do you want to know my answer?
You're going to say Khabib.
Right now, I think Khabib.
Khabib had an easier Dustin to face. That Dustin that came out to fight, Islam's the hardest Dustin you're ever going to get because that's the last chance Dustin. And that's the Dustin who's already fought one of these guys who's coaching him and has every focus on defending. And he did a great job, honestly, up until the end because his ankle got twisted. That's the best Dustin you're going to get. That Dustin beats the other Dustin that fought Khabib 9 times out of 10.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't think that's a great comparison.
So you want to say Islam?
Oh, yeah.
Right now?
Oh, I'm stamping Islam right
Islam's better. Is the better champ right now.
Right, 100%.
Interesting. I didn't think you'd say that. I thought you'd be Khabib.
No, dude.
I think Islam can be. I think if he becomes double champ, he is. But you got a good point. I'm interested in what the Jobins think.
Yeah. Just because of I really thought Dustin did a good job.
The thing that I think is going to be the hard thing to beat is the star power because it's going to always be Khabib. They're never going to go. Do you think the people, they have such a follow, like their
whole
culture,
group does, right? The whole Dagestani wrestlers.
They all have it. And they have their whole country behind them.
They train on a secluded gym mountain together.
And you got Khabib as like the George Washington of them all.
Yeah, but then Islam can beat Thomas Jefferson. You still have other names.
But we're not sitting here going Thomas Jefferson was a better president than George Washington.
I would argue he is.
I would like to do a pod. I would love to do, if there's any historians out there.
No, shout out Washington.
Yeah, if there's any historians out there with old time shit that would love to be on our podcast, and I would love to have one with you with Brenden, and I would love to just go back and forth.
We were born in a place where we couldn't be if he didn't get that Louisiana purchase. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, sometimes, Jobins, when I smoke a little, and I just think about life and being born in this moment of history and how fucking crazy shit was not that long ago. It's freaky. And then Jobins, have you watched any of the new Hitler documentary?
No, I haven't.
Brother, it was at Jobins. It's actually
What's it on?
Really good. Netflix.
Really?
They dropped that shit on D-Day. I was talking to Tim on the Confidential pod. I was talking to him about Tom Hanks. Dude, something's up about Tom Hanks.
Oh shit, what is it?
He might be super, super smart. I bet Tom Hanks has to work on stoicism like me. I bet he's the kind of guy that gets super pissed sometimes. You know why? He's passionate. But then you sit and think about how history's written, right? So I'm like, when you got a motherfucker like Tom Hanks who's this passionate about our history, go watch his interview if you want, Jobins, because what I'm talking about is on the anniversary of D-Day this past week, it was kind of sad because they've been doing it for so long, and Tom Hanks, they're dwindling, right? These motherfuckers, he's like, do the math.
Oh.
He's like, if you were 17 on that day, you're 90. I forget the number, 98. I'm not going to do the math real quick, right? But it's dwindling.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So that's sad.
All the World War II vets are going to be gone.
They're going to be gone.
Yeah, really.
And it made me think about how old Tom Hanks is. But, dude, Jobins, he's spitting out dates, people, everything, like the back of his hand. And he goes, I'm just an actor who reads books. And when he said that, it made me think about it for a while. I'm like, I bet Tom Hanks has read a shitload of books.
Yeah.
He seems like that kind of guy. Like just a shit ton. When he can back up, he's very passionate. And then he was talking about Saving Private Ryan.
Great movie.
Yeah. And how, because they were asking him about like, what was it like filming and putting yourself in the shoes of these heroes. And back then, when Steven Spielberg came to him, it was, I finally have the technology to show what happened on that day.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Imagine Steven Spielberg, legendary director Steven Spielberg, coming to you and telling you he now has the technology to recreate D-Day.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna show how crazy it was. And just thinking
That movie was crazy.
I remember when my dad was a big historian buff too, because I come from a
Military family.
military
100%.
even though I'm a piece of shit, I come from a fucking military family with a lot of respect. And my dad was always fascinated with Saving Private Ryan just because, and the other HBO series that Tom
The
Hanks,
Pacific.
The Pacific. My dad
And
loved
Band of
that one.
Brothers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, dude. He
liked
loved
those.
all that shit. But think about being a young kid. If you were 25, they were saying you were the old guy in the group.
Mhm.
At 20, I'm like, dude, 25's young. Now, you know what I mean? I'm 30. I'm gonna be 32. Now imagine being 17 years old, having to get on a boat, get on that boat for a while, and sail to your direct, intimate death. You can't even get off because you're mowed down by a fucking machine gun.
That's scary, yeah.
And then you gotta take it over. You gotta take this hill, this mountain of machine guns over.
Bro, those
War's
are basically,
crazy.
you know what's crazy is to think like they had guns and everything, but they hadn't even really changed their tactics from like medieval times. That's a classic like castle siege.
And
You
now
know what
we-
I'm saying?
and-
Storming walls.
When you think about that, Jobins, and think about what it took to do that, you know, what the world was in at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and to think about now where they're having hard people don't even want to be cops. They're having a hard time getting people to be the military, right?
Right.
We're so fucking soft, and I'm part of it. I'm a part of that. I think about that. I'm like, I came from a military family, and I didn't want nothing to do with the military.
What? Yeah.
I know I'm not saying we have to be involved, but think about it. What if we did have like a 2-year thing where it was like when you're young, you do 2 years in the military?
Well, man, because that kind of goes in with that other problem of
I
like
know.
people not like young kids not liking their country, and it's like, what the fuck?
I know.
It's like, how do you not love the United States?
But you know what Tom Hanks still said? He said he still believes in America that if things happened, that we would still know the right from wrong. Do you think so?
If
Like the actual indefinite right, what is right as humans and what is wrong? Because there's this all came from the Hitler documentary. I know we're going to history shit, Joe, but you're probably skipping. But the Hitler documentary, dude, because of him being able to talk,
yeah,
when everyone was desperate, is why shit happened. And then the trickle theory, or not theory, but the trickle down of just that, being an amazing public speaker. Because why? He knew the anger of what everyone was feeling. Dude,
it's what's crazy too is because like I feel like if you say this statement, it gets people triggered. But to think,
oh yeah,
like
I'm triggering you, aren't I?
speakers, like he's such a good speaker. You know who else like? Watch him talk and watch Martin Luther King Jr. talk, or like Malcolm X talk.
I think about
or
that.
like Gandhi.
If they hadn't died, had Martin Luther King not died, what would he have sparked?
He was all about peaceful protest and everything, and it's definitely shout out to Martin Luther King Jr. because for being on the non-violent side of things. But like Malcolm X would have been a little more militant. But
Brenden, the people didn't like MLK. He'd have been canceled because he cheated on his wife and he was a horn dog.
dude, the CIA, they're evil.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for those assholes, then we would have a better America, I think. RFK, shout out.
Who's next, Jobins? You know who's a big public speaker and really good at it?
Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm triggering.
He is a great speaker. I'm not
I
gonna
know.
lie.
I'm just so interested, Jobins, with it is the one thing I do love about living is finding out things. Even with I even think about this. It's weird because my dad was such a big history guy, and growing up, I would always ask him, well, what about this? Because I wanted to hear it through his eyes. Now he's gone. He doesn't know what the fuck any of this shit is, right? So I think about that. I'm like, holy fuck, we're in times that you just to learn what history brings and where the future holds and where we go is one of the most it's the fascinating thing about life. Technology, space, political shit.
And then from people from the 80s or 90s to predict what we have now.
Yeah.
Some people had it on the head, crazy.
What's weird to think about too is you never know, right? We don't. How do you know the 100% truth of everything?
Yeah.
But were war crimes? I got to finish this documentary because one of the war crimes that was that happening back then was hospitals. You can't attack a hospital. Well, we know hospitals are getting blown up today.
100%.
So there's so many war crimes happening.
Mm-hmm.
Was there war crime? Was there all that war crimes happening back then, or did we kind of, as a world, hold the world crimes more accountable? Do we need to hold? We should probably don't we? Shouldn't we hold war crimes more accountable?
Good luck, dude.
I mean, know.
The thing is, like, because my mom watched this crazy documentary about World War II, all the fucked up shit that happened in World War II, and to the Germans also, like these German nuns, they were retreating back because the Russians were coming in, and the Russians had gone through so much death as well. So when they got a hold of any Germans, you can only imagine, bro.
I think history repeats itself. I think that's very true. And I think that we're going to forget as a society. And I think there's shit happening behind closed doors that we'll go, oh, fuck, this was going on. Yeah. We had no clue. What do you think? Or we live in that world now because of media and technology.
Oh, no, dude. They cancel a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff we don't know.
So if the Nazi shit was going on today with how it was starting, with if they had social media, would they have been found out, or would it have been still kept a secret?
Ooh, that's a good question.
There was one rally that happened. There was Nazi rallies that happened here in Washington. There was George Washington and Hitler draped.
Well, think about the Ku Klux Klan. How prevalent they were still back then. They could have easily, if the Nazis had come to the United States, the South would rise again mentality would come back.
Oh. History's crazy.
Jim Crow era, all that stuff. Like the Klan would come out in spades, dude. They'd be so happy to have the Nazi party there, I bet.
And then how all Hitler. I want to finish this documentary. Sorry, we went down to history.
Dude, you got to play Wolfenstein, man. The game where the Nazis win in it.
I don't like Risk. I don't even want to. The way I've been watching some shit, and with that one guy from YouTube again, like Risk is too fucked up. Risk is like the most fucked up game.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's seriously, and Game of Thrones. It's like this.
Got to be a snake to win.
Well, yeah, and it's like, but if you think about the moving pieces that are human lives, dude, there's babies being killed. Like, I honestly.
That's what I make jokes about when I play and I go through Brock's territories. I'm like, yeah, I just killed and raped all your people, bud.
I do get mad at myself because it's like, why do we get sad? Why do I know life challenges happen, right? But like think of like death. I've dealt with death with family members, sickness, financial issues. You know, you question life. But when it we have water, we have this house. I'm not sick. I don't have cancer.
Definitely puts things into perspective,
bro. Like when you hear about the things that are going on around the world, the horrible, violent crimes, it's like holy fuck. How can I be sad?
That's a good way to have a positive mindset.
Yeah.
You know, when you do have a bad day or something,
right?
It's just to remember, like, how can I be sad when I got this? That's not to diminish anyone's struggles for the day or anything, but just remember how much worse it could be.
Right? It's so true. It's so fucking true. Tim and Sean are really good at being like that. But we're all, everyone, it's not saying you can't have a bad day and you can't be sad, but it's just like when you're actually kind of through a slump, that kind of go, it's like, damn. Things could be so much fucking horribly worse.
Yeah, you've never heard anyone ever say, man, being sad really made my life different and helped.
Right? That's a good one. Yeah. True.
Yeah, that positive mindset for sure.
Damn. So, dude, all this fucking Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler shit, what do you think about it?
It's back on, right?
I know, but like, what do you just think about Conor? Like, what do you think about it?
I'm super excited to see it.
You're still super excited?
He's a showman.
I just wonder... Dana White came out saying, oh, Conor McGregor's the biggest head game player since Muhammad Ali, same level. And I'm like, is this really working? Do you think this is affecting Chandler? I know, imagine being last minute, you're going on the plane, the press conference is canceled. Now you're going back to training camp. Now you don't even know if the fight's happening. You leave your training camp. Fight's back on, you're back in the training camp. But for a guy, let's talk about Michael Chandler. Do you think that's going to fuck with Michael Chandler? I could see it fucking with a guy like Nate Diaz.
Dude, and then what a disrespectful thing to say about Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali's mind games were way crazier.
I know, this dude was making poems.
You got to think, like, when he fought Joe Frazier and he called him, like, Uncle Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Like, during civil rights times, and he refuses to go to the Vietnam conflict, and people hate him for that. And it's like, he's talking shit on this Joe guy, still beats, like, dude. And then, like, for Joe to not forgive him for so long, and Joe beat him the first match and was the one that was hospitalized. Second match, Muhammad Ali wins. It's just
so fuck you, Dana White, forever comparing.
Yeah, Conor McGregor's never mentally fucked anyone that much.
Aljo. There was a lot of games with Aljo. I think
he did fuck with Aljo's
I think the biggest mind fuck was for always will be Aljo.
Eddie Alvarez is up there. Eddie Alvarez was pretty mind fucked. I'm the real Irish guy, and everyone's like talking shit.
Did Eddie cry? Aljo cried. There was I remember that was when Conor was the loudest Conor. I mean, he was loud for the Eddie one.
Khabib too. He really pissed off.
I know, but that one backfired. That one you don't piss Khabib off with that.
But if we're talking about like really pissing someone off like Muhammad did, that would probably be the closest one.
Yeah. Well, then maybe Dana White's got a little point then, huh?
Yeah, I forgot about that one a little bit. Then I remember he got out that cage.
I kind of agreed with what he said. I agreed with Dana White said. I think Conor McGregor is a great mind fuck. But I just question if it works against a guy like Michael Chandler. What do you think, Jobins?
It'll work.
I don't think it does.
Michael Chandler's getting knocked out for the second round.
Yeah, and I also wonder because I was pissed that this fucked Michael Chandler because it took him out of the rankings. So if the fight didn't happen, it's like, fuck, he's waited so long for this fight, got taken out of the rankings. I'm like, that's got to be tough. You'd think the UFC would still take care of him, give him a good fight. Mm-hmm. But I'm just kind of hoping Dana White threw him an under-the-table check. Because I think what do you think, Joe? But I think Michael Chandler deserves it. I think he deserves a little cheddar for all this bullshit. Mm-hmm. And still, because he's a company man.
Definitely.
He was showing up for everything no matter all the bullshit. No matter all the bullshit, he was going to be there and show up for what he had to do. And I think a guy like that deserves a fucking under-the-table check. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, my bad, Mr. Chandler.
I'm sure loyalty's rewarded, too.
Especially when you're Dana White's a billionaire. Come on. What's a milli for Michael Chandler? And you're still going to make so much money off this event.
Give a milli to one guy, you got to give a milli to 10.
Well, you always hear that, and then I'm sure there's so many stories we don't hear, but there's always stories you hear of Dana White under the table helping guys out when he thinks something. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, I just kind of thought that. I'm like, does this affect Michael Chandler in the way that Conor McGregor's thinking it is? I don't think so. If anything, I think you're just lighting Michael Chandler up more. What do you think?
We'll see.
Yeah. I am still really excited. I'm excited for it.
The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight's happening again.
Yeah. I'm
for November 15th.
I'm back to not wanting to see it. I don't know. The whole health scare turned me wrong.
I know, right? He had ulcers.
I know, and it's like he's old, man.
He's 57.
What if you kill him? What if he hits him and he gets injured and dies later? Mm-hmm. Strokes out.
Oh.
I don't want that. I'll watch the movie The Wrestler. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that it shouldn't happen.
Oh.
It shouldn't happen just like what happened the other day as well. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter or anything, Jobins, but or X, I should say. But I saw a clip and then I had to look it up. But the former world's strongest man, Eddie Hall, mm-hmm. he fought the Nafati brothers mm-hmm. in an inaugural main event of World Freak Fight League in Blackburn, England. And I watched this fight. There's two like little guys, probably like 5'7". Eddie Hall's massive 350 plus.
Just beating the shit out of him.
And he's getting walked back, and they're like hitting him and swarming him. And then one of them tries to go for a right, and mm-hmm. he counters with a right and just drops him. And the other brother's like, what the fuck? And then like they call the fight. But I was like, oh my God, that big dude could kill those guys easy.
Oh, yeah. We might as well just make a celebrity death match at this point with content creators and all that kind of shit.
That's what it is, dude. And it's like that. And then also, because I don't know if you, Dave Portnoy, he's got that backyard redneck brawling events that he does too, where like little people go on there. He's got like meth head looking people on there, and they just go crazy and fight each other.
That's crazy.
And then Dave Portnoy commentates on the side.
Help me out with this one. This is off topic. Did you see that Nick Cannon took out an insurance policy for his testicles, and it was worth $10 million?
What the fudge does that even mean?
I know, and that's
if his nuts go out, he gets $10 million.
I know, it's like because he has 12 kids. So it's like, so hold on. You're telling me that if you blow out 12 kids, you got a valuable pair of sack? You got a valuable sack. If you're breeding out 12 good kids.
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
The insurance policy. I'd have to see it.
I know. I thought you'd kind of give me some insight because I was confused about it.
Dude,
too.
insurance is so much, dude. You get licensed just to do insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Is he getting like a yield, annual percentage yield back on something through the policy? It's like I don't have no clue.
Is it the
dude.
numbers of financial burden for kids? Or am I not even thinking correctly on this?
Well, it's like he went out to insure his nuts.
So what does that even mean? That means he's protecting them?
Yeah, like he would be getting paid out if anything happened to him. But it's like, why is he even setting up an insurance policy for
So
it?
is he planning to have 12 more?
Dude, I'm gonna look up.
Nick Cannon.
I'm gonna look into this, bro.
Drumline.
I'm gonna look into this, bro.
I know.
Because I need to understand why you would do an action like that.
He was my hero. I was a drummer as kids. When Drumline came out, that was my shit. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was Nick Cannon. Girls would fucking turn around at school and say, "Can you stop that?" And I'd be like, "Sorry."
Dude,
then I'd be like, blah, blah, blah.
Imagine if your mom is Mariah Carey and your dad's Nick Cannon, and you're already like going into middle school and you have like 10 more brothers and sisters.
And now everyone's asking you why your dad just got a 10 million insurance claim on his fucking balls.
It's like, dude.
That's why I'm trying to puzzle it together. I was so confused. Let me know what you think. I almost was like, am I reading true articles? There were so many of them. Like, is this are these lies? But then it's like, dude, he's got 12 kids. It's probably Charlie Sheen didn't do something like that, or Drake.
You want to hear something crazy because you're talking about articles? Because I get a lot of articles. Larry Nassar, the ex-gymnastics doctor that got into all that trouble.
Oh yeah.
He's apparently they've have reports of him doing sexual favors to gang members to stay alive in prison.
Ugh.
They're doing like prison justice to him inside of like maximum security.
Oh God, dude, prison is so scary.
It's like, dude, that guy might as well just try to kill himself.
I don't even like watching the prison shows. That life scares me so much. People in there, talk about hell.
Yeah.
I think being in jail would be hell, or in prison.
He's described in the article as a scared church mouse.
Oh my God. Well, dude, he did fucked up shit.
He did.
He did fucked up shit. He's lucky. And now I'm sure someone's still going to get him in the end.
Oh, yeah. I bet he gets stabbed in there.
Yeah. There's those heroes in there that are in there for some shit that just was probably the right thing to do, but ended them up in fucking prison. Mm-hmm. And then you got some fucked up guy like that. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm taking
that. Was on X that I saw that article, actually. And then there was a whole bunch of comments about how everyone was happy that was happening, too.
Yeah. It's just terrifying. That could be our whole world of if just something didn't go right.
Dude.
Of violence.
Right. Mad Max level shit.
Yeah. And that shit scares me. That's why I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, man, do I want this fucking anti-government shit to happen or do I not? I don't know.
If anyone deserves it, it's him. But could you imagine that like experience of waking up
just being
for the
terrified.
morning and you're just being terrified and knowing that you're going to suck a dick later?
Well, just being in prison with killers and all that kind of shit, knowing they're out there, knowing that you got to fight for survival.
Right. You could just die. Yeah.
And it would be worse because it's like, imagine being fucked up. You got to be fucked up. You did some fucked up shit. You got to know it's coming, right? Mm-hmm. But we didn't do anything fucked up, so we're just trying to be innocent and be fucking fine.
Well, I think they know, though, dude. I feel like there's a code in there, and they know, like, when the predators and stuff are out there.
No, I'm talking like if the anti-government shit world ended and there's violence and you gotta be
there's no code there,
right and you gotta have a weapon, you gotta get food. It'd be fucking terrifying.
If you had to say you had a family and like the raiders are coming and like you only have enough bullets for you and your family,
would you know the raiders are even coming?
Do you kill your family?
No,
to spare them, because like it's like the cannibal ones are coming and they only eat a limited time so they can preserve the meat.
And we got nowhere to go.
And you got nowhere to go. You got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and you got a wife.
And I have a gun.
And I have a gun. Only enough bullets, and you see like 50 dudes coming.
And we got nowhere.
You got nowhere to go.
This is the end of the road.
Yeah.
This is like The Mist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like this is my Mist scenario to you.
So I'm gonna end it like The Mist. So I blow my kids and wife away, and then they roll up. And like, chink, 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 I can't blow my brains out, right?
Right.
And then one goes, Dave!
Oh my, that would be sad. It was the wrong crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
I don't know, man. That'd be tough. That's a good question.
I hope that Mad Max shit don't happen.
Yeah, I guess if I got enough bullets and these cannibals are coming and my wife's looking at me like, honey, I love you. This is it. And my kids are going, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
What do you do, Jobins? I guess I take them out. Bam, 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 bam.
Man.
Fuck your dark question. That was fun. We like dark.
Dude, I love, because going on to the dark matter,
Uh-huh.
Hulu's Clipped, bro. I want you to watch Hulu's Clipped.
Hulu's
It's about the
Clipped, like
Clippers.
Hulu?
It's about the Clippers, the LA
Or
Clippers.
on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Oh, okay. I thought it was titled Hulu's Clip.
No, damn, I could see that.
Oh, okay.
It's on Hulu, Jobins. It's called Clipped.
Okay.
And Doc Rivers, who was the coach for the LA Clippers at the time, he's played by Lawrence Fishburne,
Uh-huh.
our boy Morpheus.
Yeah.
And then Donald Sterling, he's played by Ed O'Neill or Al Bundy from Married with Children, and he's from Modern Family. The older guy, dude, Donald Sterling should get an Emmy, bro. Every
Kills
scene
it?
he's in, it's like he's creepy because he's like the creepy owner of the LA Clippers who was like got caught for saying racist stuff. And it's funny because they got like Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, JJ Redick, like all
So
these
they got actual people?
NBA people, but they have like actors for them that look like nothing like them. So it's kind of funny.
Huh.
Like you can't get a lot of actors that look like Blake Griffin.
Tall.
Yeah, you know, like
Structured
big ass
face.
NBA players.
Yeah.
It almost would have made more sense to have the real guys.
Damn.
But dude, Donald Sterling would take like season ticket holders into the freaking locker room
Uh-huh.
when they're changing and stuff, dude. And one of the players, he's like, what the fuck? And like Donald Sterling, this old white dude's like, look at all my beautiful players. And he's like real handsy with Blake Griffin. It's creepy, dude. I was like, dude, because I had heard about the story about Don Sterling when it had broken out, and it was like the racist stuff that he said, and then he had to get kicked out of the ownership.
Mm-hmm.
But he was doing messed up stuff, dude, for a long time.
Damn. See, I respect Dana White so much. And if anything like that came out about him, I'd be upset. I'd be really upset because I have followed Dana White through this UFC journey for a very long time. And he's always been the fucking man. And a lot of people, he brought out Donald Trump, which was crazy.
Crazy.
Because there's all that war going on. And one of the whole story, there was a big story behind that. Where Trump, like apparently Trump's is a big help for that country or something like that. And they want him to be president.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. When you think about sports and political, and even like how Dana White, they match that up, country versus country.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what, and they're open about it. Do you think other sports organizations are as open about it as UFC is with political, not maybe agenda?
The biggest thing I could think of that would be close to that is when LeBron James had no vocal backing or anything.
Not standing up
for Hong Kong.
Or what about
Hong
not standing?
Kong was getting invaded by or they were like protesting against mainland China.
Right? And then when they don't stand for the flag and shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's probably
there's a lot of politics
in other sports. Huh? Yeah, but it just seems like with Dana White, his ties with Donald Trump, maybe it's just because of Donald Trump right now that it just seems like such a, because there's a push and he's trying to push things. There's something there that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like he doesn't even have to pander to the other side at all.
Right.
Like there's not any like liberal Democrat people that ever express any fan.
Well, what's weird is how you can have a fighter. It's almost like music. You can have a song just inspire. So it's like you can have one fighter from a country that rises and becomes a star that could maybe change shit. Mm-hmm. Weird. Deep conversation. Another time. Episode 144, Jobins. We love you. Hope you guys had a good time. Thanks for watching. Deuces.
Take care, Jobins.